Hello and welcome to the Surgical Spirit podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Haidar Al-Hakim, the Third Eye Doctor. Pull up a chair and get ready for some candid and uncompromising discussion with experts, innovators, agitators, and influential people from every corner of health and well-being. From inside the hospital to at home in the kitchen, we're leaving no stone unturned in our quest to uncover the secrets of healthier, happier, more successful, and less stressful lives. Thank you so much for joining us, and without further ado, let's meet this episode's guest. Hello Jess, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm feeling much better. I've done my morning exercise and that helps me greatly. And oh my God, Jess, where do we start with you? You've done sort of exercise as part of you, isn't it?
Yes, very much so. Once I discovered it, there was no stopping me.
When did you discover it?
At university, a friend went to the gym and I happened to go along, having not done anything for 2 or 3 years and had a bit of not a good relationship with food and lack of confidence because of part of the way we were taught at medical school back in those days. You'll remember it well. And once I found the gym, it just became a lifesaver, really.
Wow.
Certainly a sanity saver.
Wow. Yeah, it is very powerful, and if you don't go to the gym, you don't know what you're missing out on.
I agree. Yes, I'm quite evangelical about it.
So what are your sort of best exercises that you think will get you the best results in the shortest period of time?
Me or people generally?
Well, up to you.
Okay, I would probably go for body weight resistance exercises. So things like press-ups, which you can do on your knees if you can't do a full one. Pull-ups, which you can do from a lower bar with your feet still on the ground or some other kind of back of a table to work your back, because you need to work the front and the back of your body. Press-ups aren't going to be enough if you don't work your back as well. And then squats, and then butt lifts so that you work the front of your leg and the back of your leg. And then the core, so things like planks and transversus exercises where you suck your belly button into the ground lying on your back, and side planks and all that kind of thing. There are lots of good YouTube videos out there with demonstrations of these kind of things.
And do you think cardio is helpful?
Very much so, but
yeah.
I think it's really good if you can combine the two together, and then you kill a lot of birds in a short space of time.
And in terms of time, how much time do you think is sort of ideal spending, between cardio and these bodyweight exercises?
Well, if you combine the two, you could do a 20 to 30 minute very effective workout in a short space of time. You might be somebody who, if you like the gym, you want to break down and do one body part today, another tomorrow, bit of cardio thrown in, separate core stuff, bit of yoga. But if you just want to do everything all at once, then I would do a body weight resistance thing where you actually get out of breath. So maybe a minute of squats, a minute of press-ups, a minute of pull-ups, a minute of abs, something like that, maybe.
Yeah. So working the whole body and making sure that you can't have a conversation when you're in the gym.
Yeah, that sort of thing. You don't even have to go to the gym. I mean, if I'm in a hotel room, I'll do this in a hotel room. No excuses.
Now, you've been involved in competition. When did that start for you, and why did you go into competition?
Well, it was at medical school, and I got involved in training in the gym and got quite strong, but didn't ever want to stand on a stage with fake tan, baby oil, and 3 triangles of material. And couldn't see any other thing that you could use being strong with weights to do until somebody approached me to have a go at this powerlifting competition. So I didn't know what that was, so went to watch a powerlifting competition and saw all these men staggering about with ridiculous weights on their shoulders and big bulging veins, and couldn't believe that women actually did it. And then met a woman that did do it, and she got me involved, and so I represented my university and went and did this competition, and there weren't that many of us in it, but I won, and that was quite encouraging.
Wow.
So went on and pursued it after that, and ended up doing it for the British team, and had a big long retirement, and then competed again till I was 50, and then retired again just about then.
So you competed until when, and then you retired? What age?
I competed until mid-30s. I stopped in my mid-30s, mid to late 30s, having not got onto the British team at all until I was 31. So it's never too late.
Yeah.
And that kind of sport you can do much older than something like swimming or gymnastics. So.
Yeah. I guess the bones sort of get stronger, the muscles get more maturer, and the insertions are stronger, I guess.
And just as you go on, you can add a little bit here, a little bit there. So people who've been doing it a long time, who've added maybe a couple of kilos to their best lift every year, or slightly more quickly, when you look back, you realise that you've actually made massive progress, and you can lift some really big weights. And
so, what advice would you give to people of age who want to get into exercise?
I would say that weights is a really great thing to do, because you want to try to reduce your aging lean body mass, to reduce falls, and also to make sure that the things that you're doing in your everyday life are always easier than what you're doing in the gym. So for example, if you do a controlled lift in the gym that's quite heavy and under control, you can get those muscles strong, so that when you have to put something on a high shelf, that's not the hardest thing you're going to do, because you're already much stronger than that because of doing your controlled stuff in the gym.
And there's lots of very qualified personal trainers out there, and people that sort of quite easily show you how it's done properly.
Absolutely, but there are also some very good machines that you can use out there to get the muscles stronger if there's nobody around to show you. And the machines are usually fairly self-explanatory. It's a bit more difficult to go wrong and injure yourself using a pulley machine or something like that than maybe trying the free weights to start with. And
squats, and how about squats in old age? Is that a safe exercise?
I think if your technique is good, I would definitely say get someone to show you how to do that, because I've seen a lot of people do very worrying technique with the knees forward and the neck forward and the bar high on your neck, and I've seen a lot of nasty injuries even in competitions from people who've maybe the technique has not been brilliant. So I think if you're doing that, you need somebody really, and sometimes having a video of yourself can be helpful, so someone can point out what you might be able to pick up on.
And how about the issues of knees? Because the knees get all degenerative as we get older.
If you're doing something with weights, then you're not doing any high impact stuff on your knees, so you're keeping the muscles around that joint strong by gradual loading, so you're actually then transferring the load onto the muscles and ligaments and away from the joint. So I would definitely encourage anybody to use that kind of training as they get older. And
in terms of supplements, do you think the supplements play a role in joints and muscles and exercise?
They may do, and there are lots of people out there who know more about that than I do, but I've never taken a supplement for any anything. I've never taken any performance enhancing or health enhancing supplements, because I like to feel that I can get everything I need from food, which I like a lot.
Wow, so no whey, no creatine, no steroids, no EPO, no growth hormone. No way. So proper nats.
Yes. Mind you, my sport, although I did do it internationally, wasn't ever my career. So maybe if it had ever become a professional sport, I might have had to explore those options if that was my source of income. But it was amateur, so.
Yeah, and you got to international level. You got to international level, and people are going to be upset by saying this. You're a woman as well, not a man. Correct. So you produce your own natural growth hormone and testosterone and all the other hormones that you need to be such a powerful lady.
I guess a bit of genetics as well. My father was a good gymnast in his early days, so I probably got a bit of that. And also, I think in my earlier life, he used to own a pig farm, so I worked on a pig farm in my early teens. He was a GP, but he always had something else going on. He's a very interesting guy.
So I guess he introduced you into all this physical activity.
Yes, he would love me to have been a gymnast as well, but although I was strong, I've got no spatial awareness, and I'm really a coward when it comes to things like throwing myself around backwards. So there was definitely no natural inclination to excel at that. To my disappointment.
Well, you can always, because we were chatting before, and you were talking about doing some circus work, stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah, well, my friend invited me to join in with this circus skills class that he's attending every few weeks. So I've now been to 2 trapeze classes, and it's great. If you're strong, you can do quite a lot of the stuff. And it's not up high, so I don't have to be brave. So far, so good.
And are they impressed by your athleticism and big muscles and lovely curves and all that stuff?
Couldn't possibly comment. Well, I'll come back to you on that.
No, I'm talking about the strength there. I'm talking about
the strength thing, I guess, because I suppose it's unusual to be a woman pushing 60 who's got decent upper body strength. I'm trying to push that for other women because I think it's really important. Because
you're actually a world record holder.
Yeah.
And, how does it feel to be a world record holder?
Well, it's quite nice to have achieved something at my advanced age that has given me a little bit of positive feedback and personal satisfaction. Yeah. Particularly in an exercise that's normally done by men. Oh, sorry, hold on a sec. I need to just decline that. Sorry, a call came through which I've just declined. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Too bad for them. Yeah.
I've just declined it. Yeah. Can you still see me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
So we were talking about being a world record holder, yeah. Oh,
yes. It was for doing parallel bar dips with added weight of a third of my body weight in a minute. So it was a 1 minute record, and there's a record organisation called the Record Holders Republic, which it's not Guinness because they charge a fortune if you want to do one of their records, and you have to put their officials up in hotels and pay them several £1,000s and all this. But the Record Holders Republic is a great organisation, and it's a fully validated body whereby you can attempt to do world records and send them videos, and you have to have 2 officials and do signed statements and all of that. So I did my first one with them 10 years ago, which was to do parallel bar dips with 20 kilos attached in a minute, and I managed to do 15, and that record stands actually. So 10 years later, I thought I'd quite like to.
Is this for all age groups or just your age group? Wow.
Yes, no, yeah. So because it was 10 years later, I wanted to have a go at doing another record, but this time I wanted to do it for charity, and see what I could do. So I trained and realised I wasn't going to be able to break my one that I'd done when I was 47. So I thought, right, well, I'll do it as a percentage of my body weight. So I did it with a third of my body weight and managed to do 12. So that was good. And
I saw that video. It's amazing. Yeah, I was entranced. I was watching you very carefully.
Did you watch the one with the half the body weight as well? Because I did a little tag-on record at the end of doing it with half my body weight, and I managed 3.
Well, I watch you all the time, to be honest, on Facebook.
Oh, you're very kind.
Yeah. Whenever you have videos on Facebook, I'm sort of watching you closely.
You also kindly contributed to my Million in a Minute charity campaign for Mind. So thank you for that and for promoting it. Because that was the main reason for doing this. I'm trying to get lots of people involved in doing 1 minute challenges or funny activities to raise money for Mind. And my own challenge raised £1,000.
Wow.
But I'm aiming for 1 million, hence the name Million in a Minute. And so far, I'm struggling to get other people involved because, despite trying to contact the media, nobody's heard of me. So it needs to be somebody, if I can just attract the attention of somebody well known to try and push this the next step, that would be great.
I mean, self-promotion is not natural for us doctors. No. We're not good at shouting our own lovely bodies and all that kind of stuff. Lovely legs and asses and backs and all that other stuff.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. It wasn't so much for the body thing, it was the what can be done with the body thing. But my friend also, because I wanted to make this funny, she kindly joined in and tried to put on as many pairs of underpants as she could in a minute. And there's a very funny video.
It's called Knickers, I think. It's called Knickers.
The Knicker Challenge, Brenda's Knicker Challenge, yeah. On the Million in a Minute Facebook page that you can watch. And she managed to get on about 40 pairs and raised over £300 with her challenge. So I just think if lots of people joined in, this could really go viral.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling to make that happen at the moment. I'll keep pushing it, though.
Yeah. I mean, you're good at pushing, that's for sure. So how can you be a world record holder? What are your 3 top tips for that?
Well, find something that nobody else has done. Practice it.
Yeah.
And just register with Record Holders Republic, and these guys will tell you what you need to do to get your name in the books.
Amazing. And
it can be funny. It doesn't have to be challenging or physically difficult. It can be. I mean, maybe my friend Brenda could actually officially make that a world record.
Yeah, and it's fun,
yes, exactly.
And it's fun. It's challenging, and it sort of gets people talking about, particularly the charities and
yes.
all of these good causes, and mental health is a massive problem now, and that's because people are talking about it, and it's a bit more acceptable to talk about these things and so on. And really, these people are sort of helping millions of people daily, and I think the more that we support them, the better.
Well, as a GP, that was, I would say, one of the main things of my time as a GP, and its impact on relationships and unemployment and drug addiction and self-esteem and homelessness and all of these things you can think of in society, either caused by or led to adverse mental health. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to push my campaign towards helping Mind, because I think they can plug some of the gaps that the NHS can't yet manage to fill with mental health service provision.
Yeah, that's...
In fact, I think we probably should have a national mental health service, and I think the government is coming a little bit more around to this way of thinking, of having mental health primary care in A&E departments and such like. I think we'll get there. And I want to be my cog in the wheel.
Yeah, and I think sort of, being part of exercise and gym and weight work and lifting heavy weights and so on, I think, it's just an integral part to getting over mental health issues. Absolutely agree, yes. Yeah. And, you had a stint where you sort of stopped going to the gym, and then you had a stint on CrossFit. What's CrossFit like? CrossFit is a fantastic sport that combines Olympic lifting, powerlifting, running, rowing, skipping, kettlebells, bodyweight exercises, so pull-ups and handstand press-ups and everything you can think of. And it's very good mix of doing resistance exercise and cardio. You can achieve a lot in a short time. My only problem with it was that a lot of the ballistic types of exercises and the high volumes of exercise, it makes it quite injury risking. Yeah. And I did have a few shoulder niggles during it, so I've gone back to the slightly less ballistic movements of the normal gym exercises and bodyweight exercises that I was doing before. But I think it's a fantastic sport. Yeah, no ballistics, please. Yes, exactly. Yeah. We're a society with no guns. Thank you very much. Absolutely. No bombs, no guns. Come from an Iraqi. Stay away from those things. It's not good for us. So we're coming towards the end of our podcast. What are your 3 top tips for young ladies your age who want to be healthy and sexy and super duper like yourself? Okay, I don't think I would call myself young ladies of my age, but okay. Lift weights definitely. What else? Yes, here's one. Concentrate on what your body can do rather than what it looks like. And what else? Probably have a sedentary hobby as well. I know that sounds like a bit of a contradiction, but I think if you're frustrated and you can't train because of an injury, it's really good to have something absorbing that you can do that isn't physical. Something that's yours and is a city-down hobby that you can do for the rest of your life, even if you can't keep all the physical stuff going to the same high level. Wonderful. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Jess. And if people want to get hold of you, how can they do that? They could contact me by email on
jesscjones@me.com. I'd be happy to hear from anybody. I'm very sociable.
And your Facebook?
Or through Facebook on my Million in a Minute Facebook page. Million in a Minute is the charity Facebook page, but I'm contactable via it. I don't use a social media company.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Jess.
Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to this installment of the Surgical Spirit podcast. For all the latest in the world of surgical spirit, don't forget to follow on Twitter @The Third Eye Doc and catch me on Facebook at the page The Third Eye Doctor. You can visit the website at www.thethirdeyeDoctor.co.uk for more information on the work that I do. And please send us feedback and questions and suggestions for the podcast. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. I've been Dr. Haidar Al-Hakim, and I'll see you next time.